Hello, this is the sixth video in a series on Master Server Toolkit, also using Fishnet. Now, the previous video was implementing a lobby system, and this video is basically tying up some loose ends. So there are some buttons that need to have click handlers addressed, like closing the screen. And then also there's a there's a bug that I noticed as I was testing these. When you leave a lobby and you go back in, you go to search for new lobbies, you'll see that it's there, and you try to if you try to join it, it'll say you're already in the lobby. So there's a logic error in there that when you go to leave, it's not executing the lobby exit function. So we'll fix that as well. So first things first, we'll go ahead and update these close buttons um, to make sure that they're properly handled and rendering the correct view. Uh, for example, I'll show what I'm talking about. So if we have uh, list of lobbies. So here we're in this lobbies list and you try to click this close button, nothing happens. It's just because the click handler hasn't been updated. Same goes for this cancel button. I'm clicking it, nothing happens. So let's fix that. So right now I am in the client scene, and that is located here in app scenes client. I'll double click it just to make sure that I'm not in any other client scene. Um, but yeah, that is it. And the first view I want to address is the lobbies list view, which is under in the hierarchy master canvas lobbies list view. Now, if we want to kind of zero in on that in the scene view, uh, when I select the game object in the hierarchy, it'll show the gizmo around it. So we'll zoom in on it, and just so that way it's kind of squashed right now, but there we go. Looks a little bit more reasonable. So yeah, so for lobbies list view, we have this close button, this cancel button, and also this update list button. It needs to be updated as well. So to get things started, we'll do the close button here. So in the hierarchy, I'm going to drill down into the um, panel header and then select my close button. As you can see, sort of, it's kind of selected. So now what we want to do is locate the button on click handlers. And you'll notice in the inspector, we have this on click handler element. And right here, we have an orphaned reference here. This used to actually reference the original view that we copied, and then it was calling hide. So let's go ahead and update it to the reference of the new view that we copied, which is this lobbies list view. And now that we're referencing it, now we can actually select the function that we want it to call, which is for the close button, we want to select lobbies list view hide. Okay, so the second handler we have attached here that doesn't need to be repaired. It'll just show the previous menu uh, or previous view that we had that we were coming from, which was the menu view, and we're showing it here. So that's fine. So the next thing we want to do is update the cancel button. Now, to get there, we need to go from lobbies list view in the hierarchy, panel, expand container, button tools, and now we have our button tools game objects here. So the cancel button is what we're interested in. And to update that one in like manner, we just basically, we're doing the same thing as the previous button. It's just duplicated down here as a cancel rather than the window or dialog close button thing. So I'm going to go ahead and reference the view game. Oops, wrong click handler. I'm going to do the top one that was orphaned. So now we have that one referenced. Now I'm going to select lobbies list view and hide once again. And now that one should be updated. What's up, baby?
Hi, everyone.
You little stinker. So what's up?
Nothing.
Okay.
I'm just wondering if the laundry was done.
Nope. Once I'm done recording, the laundry will probably be dry.
Alright, I'll sit here and wait.
Okay. Well, I'm probably going to have to edit out this conversation we're having so that way people watching the video won't have to wait through it. They're interested in learning rather than having side conversations, you little stinker. Okay, you can be in here as long as we don't have conversations. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. hmm Okay, I'm recording, no talking. Because the more conversations is more editing I have to do, and that's going to delay the time that we have. It's going to make it take longer for us to just go to the game store and stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna continue. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so the next button we want to update is this update list button, and here what we want to do is uh, add a reference again to the lobbies list view, and then the update list that needs to be bound to the find games button from the lobbies list view. So again, here is the lobbies list view methods, and I'll select find games, and that should do it for the lobbies list view click handlers that we needed to fix. So the next view we need to update is the create new lobby view. So I'm going to collapse lobbies list view, and I will select the create new lobby view, and we will zero in on that in the scene view, which is over here. Okay, so again we have these close and cancel buttons that we need to address. So this is going to be very similar to what we just got done doing. Um, so we're going to expand the create new lobby view and the hierarchy and select the close button in the panel header close button path. So for this one, we'll go to the inspector once again, and we'll add a reference to our parent view game object. And then we will select the create new lobby view hide method to bind this to. And in addition to this, if you notice, you might not notice, it's kind of obscured, but this particular view, when it goes to show the previous screen for games or the rooms list, since this is for lobbies, we want to show the lobby list. So I need to update that reference as well. So I'm going to reference this lobbies list view and then go down and select the lobbies list view show button or show button show function, and that should take care of that, of rendering that for us. Now we have that close button taken care of. Let's take care of the cancel button, and that's going to be within the container cancel in the hierarchy, and we'll do the exact same we just did. So we'll reference the create new lobby view for our hide method, bind it to hide, and then we will take our secondary um, on-click method and change that from games list view show to the lobbies list view, and then bind that to the show method. Okay, so now that should wrap up that create new lobby view handlers, click handlers, and the remaining one that we have is the lobby view. Now, again, this is the close button and the cancel button. So having the lobby view selected, let's find that in our scene view so that way we have a good reference of what we're working with here. Okay, so here we have this close and the cancel. So let's go ahead and take care of the close button again. And for the close, just like we did the other ones, we will reference our uh, root view game object, which is lobby view in this case. And since we're closing it, we want to bind this to this hide button. Now, we kind of have a choice here for what view we want to show after this is hidden. Like right now, it's bound to the main menu view to show it. Alternatively, we could change this reference to the lobbies list view if we wanted to do that. Um, and I'm kind of torn on this. I'm not sure if I think I'm just going to leave it. Just know you have that option. Obviously, you have the option to display almost any of these, right? I'm just going to leave it for now. So that takes care of that close button. Let's take care of the cancel button inside the container bottom tools. And this, again, we're going to do the same thing. Reference to lobby view and click hide. Okay, so that takes care of the remaining click handlers on the buttons. So now let's go ahead and test them, and I'll show you the bug that we have to fix here. So I'm going to go ahead and build these, and you don't have to go and build this every time. There's different ways to test these things within the editor. I haven't gone over the development or design time workflows and examples. So since I've been building since the start of the series, I'm just going to continue building once there's a thing to test. So that way it's just kind of consistent with the prior videos. Okay, so let's start our master and spawner. And now let's start our clients. I guess we only need one client for this testing. So, okay, so we're in our lobbies list. Let's see if closing works. Yeah, looks like it works for the close button. The cancel button looks like that works. Great. So, create new lobby. Let's click close. That works. Click cancel. That works. Great. Now going into the start lobby. Okay. Now let's click the close button. Okay, that puts us back into the main menu. But when we click lobbies list, now we see that the previous lobby that we were in, when we closed it, it didn't clean up after itself. It's just hanging out there. And even in addition to that, you click join, it says Join lobby error. You're already in a lobby. Well, yeah. So we need to go ahead and fix that. Okay, so how do we fix this bug? Let's take a look at the code. So in our hierarchy, we'll select lobby view and then open up the related script from the inspector by double clicking on the lobby view script. That will open the script up in Visual Studio. And if we take a look, I'm going to show you a uh, method that I created in anticipation for this, but never wired up to anything. So there's this on exit click, and that ends up calling the joined lobby leave method, which will clean up after the player leaves. This just never got wired up to anything. Now, in addition to that, these views that I copied from had a common pattern to them, which is with the awake method, there are two bindings that happen: the show view handler binding and the hide view handler binding. So this is actually getting used for this view, the show lobby view. However, the hide lobby view, it's not getting called from anywhere else. So I think we don't need this. I'm going to uh, delete this field from the app event keys since we don't need it. In addition to that, since I'm not binding anything to it, I'm going to delete this on hide lobby view event handler as well. Um, well, maybe not. Maybe I don't need to do that. Um, Maybe I leave it. Hmm, what should we do? You know what? I'm going to leave it just to keep the naming consistent. And I'm going to copy this lobby leave um, statement out of this unused exit click method. And I'm going to paste that into the on hide lobby view event handler. I mean, just because it's not being used currently, it might be used somewhere else. I don't know. And I'm just going to uh, put it right in front of the hide method called here. I suppose we could do like an on hide override like we're doing here, and then do lobby leave. I'm not sure. You can experiment, but I'm going to do this for now. Just slap it in front of that. Since I'm going to change the click handler to reference the on hide lobby view, and since I'm not passing a message in here, I'm going to just remove that as an argument or parameter. Um, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to try this out. We'll see if it works. And and since I deleted this field, I'm gonna go ahead and just delete that. Um, I might change my mind later, but let's just get this fixed first, right? So now I need to update the uh, click handler for these close buttons that we just previously updated to call hide explicitly. So for the lobby view, we'll go back into the close button, and instead of lobby view hide, we'll do lobby view. Oh, it's not showing up. I need to update the visibility for this. So on hide, I need to make this public. Okay. Now it should be selectable in the inspector. Okay, so close button. We're going to change it from lobby view hide to on hide lobby view event handler. It's a bit of a mouthful. Um, Now let's do the same with the cancel button. And there might be, better ways to do this, but for now, hopefully this works. Okay, now that we've updated our on-click handlers, let's test this out. I'm going to rebuild. Okay, so starting the master and spawner and starting the client. Lobbies list and create new lobby. So now we should have updated handlers for both the cancel button and the close button. I'm going to just click cancel first. Okay. Behavior as we've seen. Let's see if it's okay. The lobby is no longer visible in the lobbies list. That means that we've successfully cleaned up after ourselves after leaving the lobby. So I should be able to create a new lobby. Okay, that's successful. Now let's just try the close X button up here. Okay, successfully cleaned up after ourselves on that one as well, so we should be good to go.